Hello, welcome to WFSB Plus. I'm Channel 3 Sports Director Joe Zone. So stay with me right now because this is my first time on WFSB Plus, our streaming platform. And I want to take you behind the scenes of UConn Football Media Day. Football season has started. You may know that a big win for UConn on Saturday when they beat Central Connecticut State. In fact, you may have watched the game on our sister station, The Wax. But now things are moving into the tough part of the schedule where they're going to play Syracuse on the road this week. So during the UConn football season, Jim Mora, the head coach, on Tuesday has a media avail for all games that are played on Saturday. And behind the scenes at the media avail is what you're going to get a chance to see today. So about a half dozen members of the Connecticut media show up for this. We get a chance to ask Jim questions about last week's game briefly because he likes to always think about now and moving on and then talking about Syracuse. And then when you get there, you get these handout sheets, all kinds of information from the Huskies last week. You'll get one from the team they're playing Syracuse with all kinds of information. But the key to the day for the media is to get a chance to talk to the head coach, Jim Mora. So what I've done is compile all of the answers to today's questions. You won't hear the questions, you'll hear the answers, and you'll have a pretty good feel for what the media is talking about, what Mora wants to talk about, and then get you excited about this first road game of the year on Syracuse. So I think what I have to do here, now I got to find the right button to hit. Oh, there it is. We're going to try this. If this goes, you're going to get the coach.
So it's going to be a great challenge for us. But, based on today's practice, our guys are wired in, and they're ready to accept the challenge. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to reveal a lot, and these are the kind of games that you relish. So just got to have a great week of preparation. We've got to go out there, and we've got to play as close to perfect as we can to have a chance to stay in it with these guys. Malachi will not be able to play this week, but our medical team did an amazing job with him after the game. He was released from the hospital that night. He's fine. He's back with the team. He should be back next week, but he's not ready to go this week. Well, the only thing they're different is, players, but schematically they're the same. Special teams have a new coordinator, so they're a little bit different there, but we played against this scheme before. We played against this coordinator before. What I see is a big physical, talented football team. New quarterback who I think played well, big receivers, big offensive line. Kind of a reconstructed defense per se. They've had, I think, 6 changes, but they brought in some really good players. They've grown their own players. It's a hell of a challenge for us. They're an ACC team. They were, I think they beat 9 bowl teams last year. I think they ended up 10-3 or something like that. They're pretty darn good. So we're just trying to prepare to play the best we can. We don't talk about it. We just every day is a new day. We live, like I said, kind of right here and focus on being the best we can every day. We make the corrections on Sunday and Monday, and then we move on to Syracuse, and it's a whole new proposition. It's a whole new journey. It's a new challenge, and so we just refocus, we reset. And, we believe that confidence comes from hard work, attention to detail, focus, taking good notes in meetings, going out and having great practices, understanding the game plan, working hard in the weight room, doing the things that you do have to do off the field to get yourself ready. And if we do those things consistently, which our guys have shown the ability to do, then we feel like we can walk on the field with a sense of confidence on Saturday. And then you have to execute. Then you have to execute against a really good team this week. We don't approach any game differently than another because I think that's when you get the roller coaster effect. And so we're going to prepare every week to play our best against whoever we play. This week it just so happens to be a really good Syracuse team, but that can't affect how we prepare. We can't last week prepare at one level and then this week prepare at another and then the next week at another and the next, because that's an inconsistent football team. So our focus is always about being the best we can be on that day. And to me, that's the best way to do it, especially when you're dealing with younger players, younger men, younger adults, teaching them how to stay consistent in their approach to everything and consistently excellent in their approach to everything. I think that's the best way to do it, to build confidence, to build consistency. I think it was about like I felt coming off the field. I love the explosives we put up. We still left a lot out there. I was disappointed in the penalties, like I said after the game, and some of the big plays that the penalties erased. I thought defensively, we were a little soft early, and then we firmed up. I feel we were a little hesitant early, and then we kind of settled in. But God, it feels like a long time ago that we watched that film. No, it was about like I thought. There was some good, there was some bad. There was nothing to be exuberant about. There was nothing to be depressed about. It was just, hey, there's hope. There's a lot of things we got to do better, and we've got to do a great job as a coaching staff of putting our players in the right position to do the things they do well, so they have a chance to have success. And that's our goal every day. That's up to us, to take care of the run game, to take care of the short passing game on first and second down, handle the play action stuff, force some bad throws, make some plays on the ball, do things like that. So earning the right to rush the passer is something we've got to improve. The down-to-down lack of precision or certainty is something that has to improve right now. It'd be easy to sit here and say, well, it was the first game, but these guys are experienced players, all right? And maybe they haven't played in the system, but they played football. So we expect to see a big jump in performance as we go through the season, and that needs to start this week. Listen, they replaced a really good quarterback with a really good quarterback. They've got a running back who's a big bruiser who scored 3 touchdowns last week. They're physical on the front. They're big and physical at wide receiver. They've got active tight ends. They've been successful throwing the ball, and we know they can run the ball. Defensively, they are really good up front. They've got a really good defensive line. They've got some new linebackers, but they're big, physical, and they're active. I think their secondary is really, really athletic, So I think their kicking game has always been solid. You see Fran Brown's personality all over that team. I mean, they're tough, they're hard-nosed, they're disciplined, they're gritty, they're going to get after you. I mean, he's a Jersey guy, right? And they play with that attitude. They play with a chip on their shoulder. So that in order to have any success against these guys, you've got to bring your very, very best every single play.
All right, Jim Mora, just a few hours ago at his weekly media day up in Stores, talking there at the end about Syracuse, one of 3 ACC teams that UConn will play this year. And one of those 3 teams, they're probably going to have to win and beat if they're going to have really a big season. The other 2, of course, Boston College, and then they're going to play Duke here coming up later in the season. So you might remember last year that UConn went up to Syracuse late in the season, and they were in that game. The final score up there was 31-24. Syracuse won, but UConn actually was kicking an onside kick. I was there. I remember they recovered that game. That, maybe they come down the field, tie the game, but they stayed close. They've got memories of that Syracuse team. Syracuse, of course, this year with a new quarterback, lots of new players, just like the Huskies, who started with 50 new players. They won the season opener. Today, behind the scenes with the head coach, Jim Mora, and we'll do this every game week. When they play on Saturdays, I'll be here at Tuesday with what the coach had to say, and once in a while, we'll have a player available, and you can hear what the players are thinking, and of course, always with the players, it's what the head coach is thinking. This is WFSB Plus. I'm Joe Zone.